I have no clue if this would help anybody, but I have this shadow work journal that was on TikTok Shop, and I wanted to read it out loud for everyone, because the best way for me to read is to read out loud. So I'm going to read it for you. I'm sorry that there's noise in the background and sirens going off. I live right outside the hospital. The Shadow Work Journal, a guide journal to help you navigate, integrate, and transcend your shadow. Declaration of Intent. I vow on this day to commit to my personal growth and acceptance. I promise to fill this journal out with an open heart and good intentions. I acknowledge that there are both pure and wounded parts to my being, and I choose to embrace and nurture both. I look forward to unveiling my shadows and bring more light into this world through my personal journey of self-reflection and healing. Would you like to hear the table of contents? Contents. The first section is about shadow work. What is shadow work? Why shadow work is important. The father of shadow work, Jung the psyche. Psych, I have no clue. How to do shadow work. The mindset, self-compassion. Grounding before and after shadow work. How to spot your shadow. Integrating your shadow. Emotions. The second section is shadow work exercises. Wound mapping. Fill in the blank part 1 through 7. Release stagnant energy. Inner child affirmations. Gratitude list. A letter to your past self. Mirror gazing. Fill in the box. Part 3 is shadow work journal prompts. And part 4 is getting to the root. Trigger tracking example. Trigger tracking pages. Now we're going into the introduction to shadow work. Unless you learn to face your own shadows, you will continue to see them in others, because the world outside of you is only a reflection of the world inside of you. Carl Jung. What is shadow work? Shadow work is about revealing the unknown. The shadow is an unconscious aspect of your personality that the ego does not identify with. You may experience your shadow when you're triggered in social interactions, relationships, and episodes of anxiety or sadness. The unconscious mind contains repressed emotions from painful events, causing impulsive behaviors and unwanted patterns that form your dark side. In short, the shadow is composed of the parts of yourself that you have forgotten, abandoned, and repressed in order to grow and fit in with the mold of society. Think back to your childhood and recall the ways in which you would express yourself only to be rejected. You may have been crying and told to stop. You may have been laughing uncontrollably in a classroom and given a dirty glance from your teacher or peers. There are countless ways in which you may have been reprimanded for what you deemed as bad and praised for what was good, learning to adjust your behavior accordingly. These repressed parts of yourself don't go away forever. They are stored and locked inside your unconscious mind. Shadow work is the process of revealing, accepting, and integrating these parts of yourself that you have repressed, rejected, and the techniques in the shadow work journal will allow you to dive into unconscious pockets of repressed emotions and transcend the negative effects they currently have on your well-being. The goal is to make the unconscious conscious, that you may work on self-reflection and acceptance. While anyone can do shadow work, a licensed mental health expert is a good option, especially for individuals who experienced severe trauma or abuse. Before beginning your shadow work, it is important to set an intention to openly notice and question your own reactions. The shadow is apparent in strong emotions and dissatisfaction. Be sure to keep a mental log of these sensations to truly understand where patterns occur, and use this journal as a tool to identify what is causing them. The Get to the Root pages are an excellent resource to track your shadow and the roots. Why shadow work is important. There are many benefits to shadow work. Your pains and triggers can be guides to help you understand what you deeply care about, bringing you closer to your life purpose. Conversely, you will come to identify toxic patterns in your life and change them completely. Another benefit of shadow work is that you will develop more courage and confidence to face the unknown and embody your whole self. You will develop deeper love, acceptance, and understanding of yourself, which helps improve your relationships with others. Practicing shadow work helps you separate from egotistical thoughts and will increase empathy and compassion for others. Compassion, in turn, helps exercise other forms of positive emotions, like gratitude, that can better your mental and physical health. Failure to face and deal with the shadow elements can be the seed of adversities and prejudice between unrepresented groups of or individuals, and can trigger anything from a small argument to a major war. Recognizing shadow elements is an integral part of becoming a compassionate and reasonable individual. The father of shadow work, Carl Jung. Jung. I don't know how he says his last name, but yeah. The concept of the shadow was first developed by Swiss psychiatrist and psychologist Carl Jung. Jung believed that exploring the shadow was essential for personal growth and individuation, and the process of becoming one's authentic self. The shadow refers to the unconscious part of our psyche that contain our repressed thoughts, feelings, and impulses. It is the side of ourselves that we reject or hide from others and often from ourselves. However, these repressed aspects of ourselves can still influence our behavior and emotional states. Understanding the psyche. The psyche is a term used to describe the inner world of our thoughts, feelings, and emotions. It is the source of our experiences, motivations, and behaviors. And it is consistently evolving and changing throughout our lives. Understanding the psyche is key to understanding ourselves and the world around us. Jung believed that the psyche was composed of several distinct but integral parts, including the conscious mind, the unconscious mind, the personal unconscious mind, and the collective unconscious mind. The conscious mind is the part of our psyche that is aware of our thoughts and experiences. The unconscious mind contains thoughts, feelings, and experiences that are outside our conscious awareness. The personal unconscious is the part of the psyche that contains repressed thoughts, feelings, and experiences, while the collective unconscious is the part of the psyche that contains archetypes, universal symbols, and themes that are shared by all people. One of the key benefits of understanding the psyche is increased self-awareness. When we have a greater understanding of our thoughts, feelings, and emotions, we can make more conscious choices, improve our relationships with others, reduce anxiety and emotional distress. Figure 1. Jung model of the psyche. Jung believed that exploring the psyche was essential for personal growth and individuation, the process of becoming one's authentic self. He believed by exploring the unconscious mind, we could gain a deeper understanding of our motivations, reactions, and behaviors, and make changes to live more authentic lives. Jung's theories have been highly influential in the field of psychology and have been further developed by our psychoanalytic theories, including Sigmund Freud and Melanie Klein. Today, the study of the psyche is an interdisciplinary field that draws on psychology, neuroscience, philosophy, and spirituality. The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. Carl Jung. I am going to say it both ways because I have no clue how his name is pronounced. Mind traps. Anchoring. The first thing you judge influences your judgment of all that follows. Confirmation bias. Your favorite things that confirm your existing beliefs. Reactance. You'd rather do the opposite of what someone is trying to make you do. Sunk cost fallacy. You irrationally cling to things that have already cost you something. Dunning-Kruger effect. The more you know, the less confident you are likely to be. Backfire effects. When your core beliefs are challenged, it can cause you to believe in them more strongly. Declinism. You remember the past better than it was and expect the future to be worse than it will likely be. Framing effect. You allow yourself to be influenced by context and delivery. Negativity bias. You allow negative things to disproportionately influence your thinking. How to do shadow work. Shadow work involves exploring these unconscious aspects of ourselves in a safe and controlled environment. This can include journaling, meditation, therapy, or working with a spiritual teacher to guide. The shadow work journal can serve as your guide. The goal of shadow work is to bring the unconscious into consciousness and integrate it into our lives. By doing this, we can gain a greater understanding of our motivations, reactions, and behaviors, and make changes to live more authentic lives. We all have multiple parts to ourselves, and if we don't embrace the entirety of our being, we wouldn't be able to live a whole and authentic life. The process of integrating the shadow leads to self-acceptance, forgiveness, and unconditional love. In order to flush out your shadow, you must be willing to catch yourself in moments of negativity and question where it stems from. Use this journal's getting to the root of your shadow pages when you notice yourself becoming irritated, anxious, angry, or sad. When facing your shadow, it is important to take small, positive actions that improve your physical and mental well-being. Drink more water that you think you need. Dress up more. Shower. Cleanse your face. Eat something light and healthy. Do breathing exercises. Listen to music you enjoy. Know that the discomfort will pass and you will feel like yourself again. Knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darkness of people. Knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darknesses of other people. Carl Jung. The shadow carries all the things we do not want to know about ourselves or do not like. While difficult and painful, it is important that we work at owning our shadow, to bringing it into a relationship with our consciousness. Owning up to our shadow is an important part of self-awareness and healing. As you go through Shadow Work Journal, remember to show those parts of yourself unconditional love. The mindset Self-compassion. One of the key aspects of shadow work is self-compassion. When we begin to explore the shadow, it can be challenging to face the parts of ourselves that we reject or hide. It is important to approach shadow work with a non-judgmental attitude and to treat yourself with the same kindness and compassion that you would offer a friend. By doing this, you can create a safe and supportive environment for exploration and growth. Self-compassion involves recognizing and accepting our own human limitations, failures, and experiences of suffering rather than harsh criticism and judgment. Our culture often emphasizes perfectionism and individual achievement, which can lead to feelings of inadequacy and self-criticism when we fall short. Self-compassion is the foundation of a meaningful life, for it is only through the lens of kindness and understanding towards ourselves that we can truly see and accept others. The importance of grounding. Another important aspect of shadow work is grounding. Shadow work can be intense and emotionally challenging, and it is important to take steps to ensure that you are in a safe and stable state of mind before and after the process. This can include meditation, deep breathing, or the other practices that help you feel centered and grounded. Whenever you need it, flip to the grounding technique pages found later in this journal. Grounding is a technique that helps to anchor us in the present moment, to connect with our bodies, and to find stability and balance in a chaotic world. Grounding is about being fully present in the moment and in our bodies. It helps to reduce stress and anxiety by bringing us out of our heads and into the present moment. Grounding can also help to increase focus and concentration. It is important to ground yourself before and after using the Shadow Work Journal. Here are a few ways to easily ground yourself. Number 1, simple recognition. Recognize common humanity. Remember that everyone experiences setbacks, failures, and moments of suffering. You are not alone, and your experiences are a normal part of the human experience. Number 2, self-care. Engage in activities that bring you joy, relaxation, and a sense of well-being. This can include things like exercise, hobbies, spending time with loved ones, and getting enough sleep. Number 3, affirmations. Using positive affirmations can help to reduce stress and increase feelings of well-being. Number 4, sensory stimulation. Engaging our senses through activities such as walking in nature, smelling essential oils, or eating a nourishing meal can help to bring us into the present moment. Number 5, deep breathing. Taking slow, deep to spot your shadow self. Spotting your shadow self often begins with noticing your triggers, recognizing patterns in your behavior and life experiences, and understanding your projections. Number 1, noticing your triggers. Triggers are emotional responses that are often intense and seemingly disproportionate to the situation at hand. They are indicators that a part of you, often a shadow aspect, feels threatened or hurt. When you're triggered, it can feel as if you're reacting automatically without a conscious choice. These triggers are valuable clues pointing towards your underlying unresolved issues or shadows. To spot your triggers, take a step back and objectively look at situations that cause you to react intensely. Is there a common theme or factor? It could be a word, an action, a type of person, or even a place that repeatedly causes an emotional upheaval in you. Number 2, recognizing patterns. Patterns are repetitive behaviors that may not serve you, but seem hard to break free from. They often manifest in your relationships, choices, reactions, or habits. These patterns can be a sign of a shadow self that's trying to make its presence felt. Recognizing these patterns involves self-reflection. Consider the common threads in your past experiences, relationships, and reactions. Are you repeatedly drawn to similar types of relationships or situations only to experience the same outcomes? Do you often react in the same way even when you wish you didn't? These repetitive patterns might indicate areas where shadow work can be beneficial. Understanding projections. Projections are aspects of ourselves that we unconsciously place onto others. Sorry. Number 3, understanding projections. Projections are aspects of ourselves that we unconsciously place onto others. These can be qualities that we both admire and detest. We have a strong emotional reaction to someone else's behavior or qualities. It often signifies a disowned part of ourselves, a shadow aspect. To understand your projections, consider the characteristics in others that you find extremely irritating or conversely overly admire. Then ask yourself if these traits could be parts of yourself that you've disowned or idealized. Number 4, pay attention to dreams. Your dreams are a rich source of symbolism and unconscious vault. Try to recall and record your dreams upon waking up. Analyze the symbols and emotions and themes presented in your dreams. They can provide valuable insight into your shadows, fears, desires, and unexpressed parts of yourself. Number 5, explore childhood and past experiences. Reflect on your childhood, family, dynamics, and significant life events. Identify any unresolved issues, traumas, or unmet needs that might have contributed to the development of your shadows. Exploring these experiences with compassion and courtesy can lead to profound healing and integration. Integrating your shadow self. Emotional freedom techniques, EFT. Tapping is a powerful therapeutic tool that combines elements of cognitive therapy and acupressure. It can be a valuable method for integrating your shadow self and facilitating deep emotional healing by combining specific tapping sequences or meridian points with focused attention or unresolved emotions and beliefs. EFT can help release energetic blockages, promote self-acceptance, and facilitate the integration of shadow aspects. In this guide, we will explore how to use EFT tapping as a means of integrating your shadow self and promoting holistic healing. Identify the shadow aspects you wish to integrate. Reflect on the emotions, beliefs, or memories that arise when you think about these aspects. Learn the basic tapping points. Familiarize yourself with the basic tapping points used in EFT. These points include the top of the head, eyebrow, side of the eye, under the nose, chin, collar, bone, and under the arm. Gently tap each point with 2 or 3 fingers while repeating a relevant statement or focusing on the associated emotion. Another technique is to use inner child affirmations. Craft affirmations that specifically address the shadows you have identified. Affirmations should be positive. Present these 10 statements that reflect self-acceptance, healing, and integration. Ongoing awareness is a powerful tool for integrating shadows and promoting personal growth by becoming a butterfly net for your triggers and negative thoughts. You can actively engage in the process of identifying, understanding, and integrating your shadows. This practice cultivates self-awareness, empowers your response consciously, and opens the door to transformation and healing. Emotional triggers. Shame. Shame is an intense emotion that arises when you believe there is something fundamentally wrong with who you are. It is a deep, painful, isolating experience that can stem from feeling unworthy, inadequate, or humiliated. Shame can manifest as a heavy burden that weighs us down, making us feel small and undeserving of love and acceptance. It often arises from societal expectations and past traumas or internalized beliefs. Overcoming shame requires compassion, self-acceptance, and a recognition of our inherent worthiness as human beings. Guilt arises when we believe we have done something wrong or violated our own moral code. It is a form of self-condemnation and blame mixed with a sense of regret. Guilt can be a constructive emotion because it reveals your values and helps you learn from mistakes. It signals a need for accountability and encourages us to make amends or change our behavior. Anger is a powerful and complex emotion that spurs in response to perceived threats, injustice, or frustration. It can range from mild to intense and can manifest in a physical and emotional response. Anger is a natural and valid emotion that reveals a need for change or boundaries. Uncontrolled or excessive anger can lead to destructive behavior and harm to oneself and others. Sadness is a deep and poignant emotion that arises in response to loss, disappointment, or unfulfilled desires. Sadness can be triggered by a variety of experiences, such as the loss of a loved one, the end of a relationship, or unmet expectations. It is a natural and necessary part of the human experience. Embarrassment. This emotion stems from feeling self-conscious, awkward, or humiliated in social situations. It often happens when you think you have violated social norms. Ongoing embarrassment can lead to feeling shame and a desire to hide. Jealousy. Jealousy is a cover-up emotion and masks itself as anger or judgment when underneath it's sadness and dissatisfaction of self. It can lead you to compare yourself to others and protect what you have. Regret. Regret occurs when you feel sadness over past actions or decisions. The truth is that most people regret what they did not do more than they regret what they did do. Fear is a primal and powerful emotion that arises in response to perceived threats or dangers. It triggers a domino effect of psychological and emotional responses to keep you safe. Fear can serve as a protective mechanism, but irrational fear can limit our experiences and growth. Overcoming fear involves understanding its root causes, challenging irrational beliefs, and gradually exposing The journey of self-discovery requires the willingness to explore the depth of our shadow and the height of our potential. Unless we do conscious work on it, the shadow is almost always projected. That is, it is neatly laid on someone or something else, so we do not have to take responsibility for it. Robert Johnson. Unconscious habits plus patterns, emotions, protection, controls bodily functions, belief, desires, blaming, denying, lying, attachment to things, thoughts, and feelings. Conscious, logic, filter, analytical, movement, decision-making, short-term memory, willpower, critical thinking. Okay. And that is the end of the first section. I can do more of it and just leave space and silence for you to fill it in yourself. When I read these out loud and record them for myself, sometimes I do it like I'm reading an audiobook, and also like I'm reading it out to the class. So I guess this can be considered an ASMR video of a friend reading a book to you, or someone in the class reading. I don't know. I always read them to my stuffed animals or my clowns, because it's like I'm in a class and I'm the one that is reading aloud to everyone, which I like to do anyways. I hope this turns out okay, and I'm barely above a whisper when I'm reading this and talking right now. I just thought I would do something really quiet to see how it would turn out. I read the first few pages of my favorite book yesterday because I'm planning on maybe posting that whole book online, like the audiobook on YouTube. I hope it doesn't get taken down, and I hope this doesn't get taken down, but it's always good to try things out, and that's what this month is about. Trying new things, doing things that I am always scared to do. Anyways, you can leave a like on this video if you would like. If you liked it, if you want to see more, please comment and tell me if you want to see more of this or hear me read other books, because I know there are a lot of other books that I have that are classic literature that you can find from other people online for free. And I just like reading things out loud. so I could read them for you. Anyways, I hope you liked the video, and I will catch you tomorrow.